Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Apologize for the lateness. Just got a crazy morning. I do a bunch of different things. I call myself Robot Dad over here now. It's kind of a running joke, Robot Dad, because I feel like I'm always, I have to do something every 5 seconds. But it's all good. That's what happens. My wife's pregnant. We're running around, trying to get down the daily chores and everything I need to get done. We'll do a fun pour for you, though, and you're waiting. We'll see how long we can pour. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. So, cheers for the pour. Thank you. You people are far too kind. Oh my God, unbelievable. All right, and let's put the lemon into the Guinness glass. There you go. Boom. And now we got lemon water. All will just somehow be well now for the rest of the stream. Let's get that music back up and running, Tommy. Let's get it in. Yeah, let it bang in the ears, baby. Shout out to everybody. It is snowing here in Boston. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer live stream. Let's jump on in and have a blast. Let's talk about it like we do every single day. If you're in my trading group, I was talking last night about a possible move to the downside on the 4-hour, but a possible move to the upside on the smaller time frames. I had the guts to take the call, which was kind of not even a call. It's just, and I don't want to push people to do what I do. But I jumped in last night at 43,750. I jumped on out at 44,147. I sold that local top as we've been collapsing ever since. We went a little higher, like into the 290 area, 310. But I got out, took my money, and shout out to you, And I did that on this beautiful place called MEXC. MEXC, zero spot maker and taker fees. Jump on in today if you want to jump into MEXC. It's an amazing, amazing place. So just something to think about, you know what I mean? If you don't want to pay fees while you're trading, you're just beginning, you don't have a lot of money, you got to start off somewhere. I'm telling you right now, MEXC is the place to be. I'm going to put a link right here in the comment section. It also will be in the link below the video if you're watching the video at another time and you want to jump on in. And again, where did I put the setup? Where did I talk about Bitcoin? I've already done an update before I went to bed last night and an update when I woke up this morning. If you're in my trading group, you know so much more about what's happening for Bitcoin than the average bear, all right? You're smarter than the average bear over there. My dad used to say that, and I was like, but I'm not a bear. And I used to think about, like, the average bear walking around the forest whenever he was telling me something important. So he's trying to tell me something important. I'm dreaming about a bear. You know what I mean? So anyway, shout out to all the beautiful people on the live. 635 souls. Can we have a huge stream? Yesterday's stream was a hit. Up to 1,000 people for hours on end. It was insanity. Over 1,100, 1,200 people at one point. It was insane. Plastic bottles have tiny plastics. Yes, I always filter my own water. I never drink out of plastic water. I have a Berkey at home. My neighbor was just doing this to be nice to my daughter, to my wife, and I guess gave us these. So I 100%. I only filter my water out of a Berkey. My neighbor just bought us these to be nice, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, but I'm with you 100%. Thank you, Tennessee Eco Man. I always use a Berkey. I have a Berkey at home. I probably drink out of a plastic bottle maybe once in, 10 times a year, if that. Probably less, 100%. Yeah. Sammy Cup and Henny, I specifically made it got a glass, too. Kind of creepy. I'm drinking tiny particles of plastic now. Freaking me out now. Now I can't even drink the water. Man. Anyway. Let's break it down. And you could see Fiat Leak, there was tons of link getting sent in. Doge and Bitcoin, were the big winners. Some Filecoin too on the right, and some Ethereum mainly. Matic getting sent in. And really Bitcoin pumps, and then the large caps begin to pump. AVAX, Matic, you know what I mean? Polkadot, all that. And in Scotland, we drink directly from the streams. Berkeys are great, yeah. Got the Berkey, baby. Okay, so let's break down Bitcoin. We've had enough time chit-chatting away. How you doing, though? How's everybody doing? May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. All the loving, beautiful, positive people here on the live. May God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Jamie, one of the most positive, most beautiful, special people in the world. I think I'm in love with. It's a heterosexual life partner, Jamie. I love you, Jamie. I get my water out of the tap. Bottled water is a waste of money. Interesting. Scotland rocks. Slick suit. Thank you, bro. I mean, it's not really a suit. It's just it's a vest that I put on. I'm wearing black pants, so my pants don't match the suit, but I do have pants on. Some people think I do it like Kevin O'Leary, but I don't. All right. There maybe been once out of a blue moon that it happened because I'm just out of control late or something, but, you know, very rare. I'm doing great, Sammy. Hope you're doing okay. Smooth. Much peace and love to you and yours. Yeah. City water touches plastic at some point. Amen. In Cleveland, we drink Lake Erie, baby, all day long. Suck it down. Good for you. We have some of the cleanest water here in Boston, too. Anyway, moving forward. Still clean it out of a bucket. So moving forward, this is what I see happening for BTC. All right. Last night, I went in on this falling wedge here at about 43,750. I got in after this, secondary move. Now, I almost got wicked out. Like, my stop was somewhere at like 43,298, I think. Something like that. But I didn't get hit, thank God, on that wick. Came back up, and I woke up in gains. And then when we started to rip, I got a little too greedy. We went to 360, 310. I was up nice. And then when we came down, I said, you know what? I'm out at 147. And I took the gain. But that's my first trade of the day in a win. It's kind of nice. You know what I mean? And Wednesday, one of my favorite days to trade is Wednesday, right? Base of the triangle, looking something like this. Next move up is about 45,222. That's what we're looking at, Yeah, Ordi is going to take volume. We'll take a look at all that stuff that's happening in the market. But so, yeah, I'm watching this idea for Bitcoin, and I'm going to take away this falling wedge. We kind of don't need it anymore. To me, it hit the top, the top of the wedge, which it was supposed to. Falling wedges break to the upside 68% of the time. Then that nasty liquidity grab, middle of the night, came back up, and now we're still sideways, And so you would expect Bitcoin to have fallen to the downside by now. At the same time, it double topped here at about 44,300. There's a major resistance here for BTC. Let's zoom in and look at that. A local, not major, but it's a local resistance. And so, you double topped. You made a bit of an M. That would make you break further to the downside, in my humble opinion. And, I was looking at this smaller pattern. To me, the smaller pattern could be elongating itself, but likely falling further to the downside now. You double topped right there at that point. I sold, could have switched short at that one moment in time, but I went to work out for my mental health. You know what I mean? Mental health is key. But what we're going to do is I'm going to delete all of this, and we're going to start fresh yet again, which is insane, right? And we're going to kind of break down Bitcoin for anyone that's new here on the channel. Jump on in with the lifer. All right. Now, if you're with me and you've been following me, I called this bottom here with bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. I could spend hours going over it, show you all the examples throughout multiple assets throughout time. I didn't go off of just what I said. I went off what I saw. You know what I mean? Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch or on Twitter. We love you. We appreciate you no matter where you are. And, of course, all my beautiful YouTube people. May God bless you all for being here. So people were trying to call this a bear flag. That was going to break us down, back to the bottom again. Rising wedges break down 60% of the time, but when things are crazy, they break out parabolically. So first things first, was we had our bottom, which I'm telling you right now I called, and then there was a cup and handle, and I was saying we're going to go through this gap pretty fast in the VRVP up to 19, and we ripped all the way up to 20. Then when we made the higher low, the higher high right there, we broke that high. I knew that was the trend, and I talked about that, and I teach that in my trading group, is how to spot a trend change. And on a macro level, that's what I knew it was time to load up on Bitcoin pretty nicely before we would get a bigger move. Blah, blah, blah. How can we be confident in a stop loss? Well, if you use your stop loss with, a divergence, and shout out to Chillawada, no worries, man. Water under the bridge, man. I went through so much of my life living in Boston, Irish, you know what I mean? Me and my friends would have fist fights, and then an hour later we'd be like, hey, man, what do you want to get for lunch, So you kicked me out yesterday, I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe someone else did too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the control of all that as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. If we keep changing the trend line in a wedge, well, you know what I mean? I don't really change the trend line in a wedge. Like, that was the trend line, you know what I mean? It might change slightly depending on the time frame you're using, but at one point you have to stick to some support and resistance, you know? Like last night, I jumped into the wedge, but I used support and resistance for the stop loss, you know? Like, I specifically am always looking for support and resistance on my stop loss, you know? So, yeah. Does add more money in my position increase my profit? I mean, it may, yes, but I can't tell you what to do. You know, I have no idea what you're doing, so I wouldn't give you any financial advice about what you're doing. I can't, you know, I'm not licensed. I don't do that. And it's not what I do anyway. So there's an idea that, okay, Bitcoin was going to break to the downside. Did not do that. All right. I was bullish, and I kept saying, you know, we keep making higher highs. I talked about the hidden bullish divergence here on the 3 days, saying we'd make a high above the high. And really, you take the base of this and you swing it. And I mean, it gives us like a nice $49,000 Bitcoin. And so, yeah, this is what I've been talking about and going over. And see, we can see our next range is this area here, you know, and that's why I remember I got rid of it and I turned it into a bit of a block yesterday. But like, we busted right through this area here, which was our next like resistance, support resistance. And so our next area is 47,315, you know, in my humble opinion. And it's a zone too. And I'll delete this one and delete this one. See how I did that quick. But I was a video editor for years, so I was always moving things around digitally. Like, how can I get rid of this to do that? It's kind of like digital dishwashing in a way, if that makes any sense. Editing is similar to using a dishwasher. Well, in a way, because you're picking and choosing like the neatest way to do something. I don't know. It makes no sense, but anyway, so the next level that I'm looking at is this level here. And look, it lines up with a high volume node right there. Okay, you have a high volume node. You dip through the VRVP. Understand how to use the VRVP. It is amazing. Only thing is, when you go and get it, you're going to go up here to settings, and you're going to add the VRVP, the visible range volume profile. It'll take you like 4 to 5 months to really get a hang of using it. But once you get a real hang of it, it'll change your life. It really will. And you'll start to see the market so clear. And it's basically, you know, pretty close to fair value gapping in a way, you know. Anyway, so you hit this, it'll come up on screen. The only thing about it, though, is if you hit your settings, you're going to see the row size will be 24. You'll have 24 rows. I like to have 240 rows, right? I like it to be far more, you know, detailed. So I come up here, hit this setting, and just throw a 0 right there, you know, and boom, I like the way it looks like that. Now, see that we have a big lump of price action. This is where the most people bought and sold in these areas. Then when the most people here. Price action likes to move through the areas where there's the least amount and get to the areas where there's the most amount. And you can see Bitcoin doing this many times. This gap here, we went up really fast. There was a gap. We went up really fast here. There was a gap here. Once we got above it, we stayed in some chop. You can see this. Once you get above this high volume node, and I look at it like a mountain. Once you get above a high volume, the ball rose. So I always twisted my head when I first started learning this. I had myself twist my head and act like this is a ball, and the ball is going to roll down the hill. And so like right now, we just fell down this hill and look like we're going to, and if we roll down there, we're going to, and you go to the value area highs on the VRVP. So this is all going to plan. Like the VRVP said exactly like this would happen. We hit a giant volleyball. We came back on the wick. Once we closed this gap, it was very unlikely we were going to come back down and close that gap again with the amount of buy pressure that was in this zone. All right. So the VRVP has helped me throughout my entire career, on YouTube, really showing people how price action is likely going to perform. And I stick to it. See, the thing about me is once I learn something, I stick to it. See, there's a difference between learning it and using it sometimes and learning it and sticking to it like 100%, you know? Is there a free group just to build up for your main group? Yeah, just keep showing up to the live stream, man. Like, people make money on the live stream. Like, I'm here every single day. 80% of the time I'm making a live trade, talking about Bitcoin, showing you what I'm seeing. And, if you just keep coming to the live and you give yourself a moment, you're going to learn so much. It's going to change your life. Not only about how to trade, but your mentality about trading. Even your mentality about yourself. You know what I mean? How to really nail, I don't know, how to Bruce Lee yourself, right? I always find, like, when I help a new trader or someone that's trying to trade, good morning and God bless. Shout out to the Crypto Sparky. We love you. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. All right. So we want to get above this key level. We did that. Amazing, right? So now it's crucial that we stay above it. This could be a bull trap, and we could end up below it and then end up coming all the way back down to 37,000. You have to be okay with that. I mean, I would love that. I would be able to get cheaper Bitcoin. The thing is, most people want that, and we usually don't. Bitcoin usually doesn't give you what it wants. Just like it went through here, everyone was like, oh, it'll come back up, and I'll be able to get another short in. And no one got a chance to get another short in. It was gone. Bitcoin does the same thing on the way down that it does on the way up. Very similar behavior. All right. Thank you so much for that super chat. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Cluck, 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 givers gain. I do enjoy my life for morning TA. Keep going. Love for the 305. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the 1,045 people on the live. 292 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. So every day I start from Bitcoin from the top down if I can. You know what I mean? I may miss a little scalp here and there, but it's okay. It's about my mental state of looking at the bigger picture for Bitcoin. Golden Cross coming on the weekly. That's a very bullish sign. I'll tell you that right now. And that's showing signs that 2-3 months from now, we should be into the $60,000 level somewhere by February or March. Even if we have slight pullbacks, it looks like they will be slight and few and far between as there's less and less Bitcoin on the exchanges. There's a severe supply shock coming for Bitcoin, and it's really starting to show. And when the halving comes, it's going to be out of control. It's already getting pickle-ricked right off of, yes, I said it, it's getting pickle-ricked. It's getting pickle-ricked right off the exchanges. People are just snapping it and grabbing it up. Now there's like what if it goes to 50K and I don't get enough? See, Bitcoin starts to move and people get so freaked out about it not getting when they got it. It starts to move even more. It becomes the most violently traded asset. The way it moves is it just can't be stopped. It becomes a monster. I've seen it happen so many times, and now I know how Bitcoin moves. But it challenges you and changes you psychologically. If you're used to trade the stock market and you're not understanding, and so I really have a way to get you to do what you got to do. So here's the deal. Once you get above this key level, 42,770, all right, key level, it's likely we can get all the way to 47,350. So we got above 43,000. Likely we can get to 47,700 before our next, resistance zone. Might be a little lower. It might be like 47,250, but it tells us that 47K is not that far away. Now we move to the 5-day chart, my baby, and I kept saying as long as we stayed above the 200 SMA, we were bullish. I talked about whenever a candle closed above it, you can open up a long with a stop loss on the other side of it. And what a move that would have been for Bitcoin. Easy pickings for BTC, right? Grind don't stop. So, again, I talked about these concepts. I go over them. It's not like I said it now and I go back on the fact. Like, if you've been with me, you've been learning. And what I want to teach you is not all I told you so is moving averages. They're still here. There's tons of altcoins that are going to get above the 5-day 200 SMA. There's other things that are going to happen. And so a lot is brewing, in my humble opinion. And understanding this concept and how to use the 200 SMA, even on the 1-minute scalping, all the way back down to the 1 hour. And again, it can be a latent signal if you don't know how to use it. All right. Moving averages are key support and resistance zones once you get above them, specifically the bigger ones, like the 200 on bigger time frames. So I learned this and back tested this for years. So I was ready when I saw this and knew there was a 90% accuracy when I was telling people what was likely going to happen to the market. Again, I always said I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, but I have a system that I use of technical indicators, and they tell me with high probability what's likely going to happen to the market. When I listen to them, I do very well. And I don't listen to my emotions and myself anymore. I only listen to my indicators and what they tell me, Moving back to the 3-day chart. One thing I started to say was, we're getting very overbought on the RSI, getting a little bit of divergence here, bearish div on the stochastic. The stochastics RSI are getting very overbought. You're away from the 21. Usually you don't hang out this far away from the 21 here. Even we tried to get close somewhat, but it's unlikely for this long for price action to stay this far away from the 21. It could get one more huge run up, or it can go sideways and get a run up. You know, I'm not saying it can't, and it's above a key support or resistance level, which I'm super happy about, you know. But the idea is we need to stay, you know, usually pretty, you know, neighborly with the 200, which is this white SMA, which is a simple moving average, all right? Very important that we do that. Very important, okay? We go back now to the daily chart, and the daily chart looks amazing, right? And then you just want to kind of go back over what happened. Like, well, we made this. Price action usually likes to go like, I wouldn't be surprised if we spilled over to 47.8, 48,000. So even that measured move tells us we could make a move. Today's the first kind of like, you know, we're getting a red candle again today. Not today, but we're getting a red candle finally. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Look, 3 white soldiers. Boom. It's a very bullish pattern. I want you to understand this pattern. And I love it. It's one of my favorite patterns in trading. It's easy to see. It's not hard to identify. But the 3 white soldiers candlestick pattern, all right? And the 3 white soldiers is a bullish candlestick pattern that's used to predict the reversal of a current downtrend in a pricing chart. It also could just be the beginning of a bigger move, you know what I mean? But they're considered a reliable reversal pattern when confirmed by other technical indicators, you know, with RSI and stuff like that. But see, 3 white soldiers, like they come after a big reversal, 3 white soldiers, but they can come just in complete bullishness, you know? Like here, I mean, we weren't reversing. But you could say we were at a giant reversal, but in a way, you know, we weren't reversing. But what? 1, 2, 3 white soldiers, blast to the upside. Very bullish pattern in trading, all right? When you see 3 green candles all closing and opening beautifully together in consecutive days, especially on the daily, man. And so what we don't want to see are tweezer tops. You know, these 2 tops together, 2 wicks together, have this candle close like that is a bearish sign for Bitcoin. Again, the daily very far away from the 21. You know, and in my training, in my teaching, in everything that I do, I talk about the fact that being away from the 21-day moving average is NEXA, is no good. It's never the best thing. You know, it usually we got to get back to it. I mean, it's great if we want to short the market. It can be a very good sign. All right. Now we switch to the 4-hour, right? And the 4-hour is getting a little more interesting. To me, the 4-hour is starting to make a bit of a flag here. And so the smaller, what I've learned is when you get bearish signs, you know, and look, the daily even, yeah, that's a bearish divergence for sure, right? I mean, this is a swing low to swing high. And this is just not nearly, I mean, it does go up, but not nearly as sharp. I mean, that's a Class C divergence. Very likely you get a pullback here. Very likely. Now, there's a chance things get out of control and we continue to moon, but it's far more likely. We're also getting very high in the greed. This tells me it's time to back off. You know what I mean? At the same time, there's people FOMOing into Bitcoin, freaking out, saying I'll never get these prices again. So that's why I'm going to teach you something. So I'm showing you, this is when things get interesting. You're a great trader. You've been trading an uptrend. Things have been going awesome. The uptrend gets insane, meaning things get really, really extreme. Your indicators start showing divergences. You're all oversold, but yet the market keeps ripping. You keep opening shorts and getting rocked. The lifers keep winning. Why? Because I knew, and I learned, because I did it this way. I kept shorting the bigger time frames and I got lost. And eventually I dabbled with the 7 and the 5. And then I learned that the smaller time frames can dig you through what may look like bearish times in the daily. So like, there's a chance that like a 1-hour flag here could rip us all the way back up to 47.5 right now because of the bullishness that's going on. Now, normally, if it wasn't Bitcoin, it wasn't this kind of craziness, the halving coming, this would be a quick short on any altcoin. You know what I mean? And it's still very likely that we go down to the 21. We have to know that. You don't want to get out of your TA. You want to stay in the mind of your TA. It's the one thing too. So I stopped talking about the ETF. You know, whether it comes or not, it doesn't matter. The more we get it in our minds, the more we're going to get taken away from our technical analysis. Their key is to always take you away from your game, from your system, from your probability. If you want to stay in your system, you want to stay in your game, you want to stay locked in. That's why I'm able to stay profitable, because I'm staying locked in. I'm not letting the news or any of this other nonsense get it. It's all about the charts for me. I do my fundamentals, don't get me wrong. I like to research what's happening. And I use token metrics to find out the skinny on certain coins. And I love to know what, you know, the research to me is awesome. And I love researching. To me, it's fun to do. But when it comes down to any trade that I'm taking, once the research is done, I mean, the technical analysis has to sit right, or I can't get into that trade. And I'm so happy that I fell in love with that process, that mindset, because it truly is a mindset. I try to understand the mind of the market maker and then do my TA to suffice my hypothesis. Yeah. Have you looked at Beam? Yeah, I bought some Beam. I really did. And I don't want people to go run and buy it just because I did, but I bought some Beam. I decided it was a pretty good buy, and I'm a little late to the party, but I got into Merit Circle early. I already made a good trade on it where I made about 50% on it. I was in a Merit Circle, remember? I don't know if you guys remember, but it was my coin. Then it disappeared. I was holding it, and I was like, what happened to Merit Circle? Anyway, so this is a bit of a double top with a resistance for Bitcoin. I always flip things upside down like that. Looks, kind of like the money printer. We get our divergence and we rip back up to the 21-day moving average. Do we dump down to the 21? There's a chance. Do we stay inside of a beautiful flag? There's a chance of both things happening here. And we can draw both ideas. We could be making an ascending triangle. We could be breaking to the downside. So now, isn't that confusing, Sam? When you see two things, how do you know what to do then? Right? Well, I either pick one or I use a momentum indicator to give me a variation of what could happen. For instance, right now, I'm going to be looking at the stochastics RSI, and I'm going to take a look at them on the 4-hour time frame. They're in indecision right now. They're not really bearish. They're not bullish. They're in a place where they could pump up or they could pump down. Now that this high we came for a lower high. That is a little more bearish on this momentum, and you're getting what's called a bearish divergence. This is swinging up. These hills swing down, and this indicator comes with some divergences of its own, and it's calling out a bearish divergence right now for Bitcoin. And there's a clear resistance at 44,250. And you can even see where we wick to, 44,500, and then the candles close at about 44,000. So there's clear resistance between 44 and 44.5. There's resistance right here. I do have EGLD in the bag. Thank you for asking. I got in at about $20. Yeah. So these are the levels that we're looking at here that are going to be kind of our resistance. Okay, so now moving forward is, do we short or long at this present moment in time? Now, once the market gets pretty rippy like this, I tend not to short too much anymore. The only reason being is there's so many good longs to take even on the smaller time frames, and there's so many altcoins that are worth longing when Bitcoin even goes sideways or gets a pullback, right? We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance today and kind of talk about that and see kind of where we stand. So right now, if Bitcoin can't get back above this key level at 44,138, you have to expect more downside. We come up, we go sideways, and then the stochastics come up, back up again and show you signs of lack of momentum. We're going down. Look at your 2-hour. Your 2 hours pointing to the downside with a clean M. So the 2-hour has a clean M right there, right? Resistance, and we can clearly see that this is resistance for Bitcoin. Fighting through, what it is? It's like, I'm allergic to dust. And so if like a place hasn't been dusted enough, I will just, if I move something that has been sitting, it'll get me. So if this is an M pattern, which it is to me at the present moment in time, your 2 hours is going to want to come back to the 21-day moving average, And usually it's not going to move perfectly, but it's going to move something like, falling wedge, right? And so the level we're looking at is, an M pattern to move to the... Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. So that's why the key is, if we want a long, because it looks like we could be getting a bounce. You look at your 7-minute for a bounce. And that's why trading isn't so cut and dry. Everyone thinks trading's cut and dry. They want there to be a clean answer. It has to be exactly this and do this. No, it's I'm feeling out what to do while I'm feeling out what to do. It's just that simple, right? So what we're looking for is for the M to get negated. Like, I don't have to trade this next pump right here on the 7-minute. It could be a great entry, but I don't have to trade this. But if I get this pump up and I see some what's called consolidation, wow. So if like 4 o'clock comes around, 3 o'clock, 5 hours from now, it might even take less. It might be 1 o'clock. I start seeing this sideways consolidation. I have a really likelihood that this thing is going to move. And we're going to get a pretty big move to the upside for Bitcoin, all the way up to like 47,000, possibly. Now, once we lose this trend line and we drop, and I'll be looking for the 7-minute to do what? To lose the 200 SMA. Once I close a 7-minute candle or two below the 200, which looks like it's happening, I'll know there's more likelihood that we're going to fall to what? The 15 200 SMA. And so that will be my target somewhere around here. And yes, as price comes up, this will come up a little bit, but it won't come up too much. It'll be pretty much this node that we're sitting at. And so it's not me telling you this. The charts are telling me that you're likely to come down somewhere to 42,800, right? 42.8, and lose about $1,000 on Bitcoin. So this is what's likely going to happen once we start losing the 7-minute 200 SMA, which we are now. All right, which we are. So wait, this candle closes in 39 seconds. It'll close below, unless it can wick back above it right now. The bots can get in. Now, that's why I'm not going to, I wouldn't, the smart idea is to open a short now. Stop loss above here, in my mind. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just things I'm thinking out loud. And that way you're ready. If it comes up and it goes sideways, because I don't see it, like, you never know, but it could short squeeze. Anything could happen. That's what you have to be ready. It could short squeeze all the way to the upside. Anything could happen. You have to be open-minded for that. All right. It's also like, where are you? Like, I traded well last 3 days. Do I want to risk it for the biscuit and be over? You know what I mean? But I do see a move further to the downside for Bitcoin if we can't get back above. Now a candle has closed below. See, now I've switched bearish now for Bitcoin. And I'm bearish until we can get back above the 200 SMA on the 7-minute. That's how bearishness happens. It happens on the small little time frames and it begins to spill. It's just like a bleed or cut or something that can get worse and open up. As gross as that sounds. You know what I mean? Now you look for the small time frames to see, is there a divergence, a bullish div? And I mean, you do have a bit of a bullish divvy here as this goes down like this while this comes up. So you have a slight bullish divergence for Bitcoin. That's why I wouldn't jump into a short immediately. And I wouldn't jump into a long. Honestly, if I was going to jump into a short, I'd almost want to wait for this level to be breaking 43.5. And then when 43.5, then I feel like the bigger short can happen. Because like right now, we could just be toying at the trend line. And you could just get eaten up in the chop. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this projection of the falling wedge for now. But we have to heed that idea. All right. So right now we're toying at the trend line. Are we going to make it or break it is the question. Gutsy along right now on a bullish divergence in the 1 minute. And then what you're looking for, you're always looking to see what kind of pattern could break back out. Could you make some type of inverted head and shoulder here? Possible, right? Again, as long as we stay below the 200 SMA on the 7, we are bearish. We are bearish. Sad to say. Then you can even look for like a bearish flag on the smaller time frame, So right now, I have to remain bearish. I did sell out of my trade right up in here, my trader instinct told me to get out of the market there. This is an M here, clean, even though it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a bit of an M. You flip it upside down, it would be a W. You can see us breaking above the 200, we would pump. I mean, that's just what happens, right? But, there's a lot of people on the sidelines thinking, hey, I didn't get enough Bitcoin at the right time. And that's going to create buy pressure that is different than just the guys that like me and you trading and the traders out here. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing that we want to make sure, Shout out to the 1,200 beautiful people on the live. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the channel sponsors. We're sponsored by ITrust Capital. Why I like ITrust Capital is because you can, put your Bitcoin away 20 years, come back to it and have a beautiful nest egg tax-free. I mean, I think it's a great idea long term. And you can move your IRA, your Roth IRA. It's the only one you can do that. You can trade gold and silver, all sorts of amazing things. You know, call your tax professional, ask them about ITrust. They get it done really fast and easily too. They're on the phone. They're great. Hit the QR code on the link below to check out ITrust Capital. Also, BingX, where you can trade the S&P and Forex in the same place as you're trading cryptocurrency. You can't do that almost anywhere else. That's why I really like BingX. That's the one thing they got going that nobody else has. Just trade the S&P, trade Forex, trade Bitcoin, and all sorts of altcoins too as well, all in the same place. Link in the QR code to BingX. My favorite channel sponsor, me, CryptoLifer.com. Jump on in and check out CryptoLifer.com. We can't wait to see you there today, all right? And in this trading group, you're going to get so much information. You're going to get access to my token metrics account, things that I go over. You're going to get access to my own account. I show my portfolio all the time. I talk about coins that I'm jumping into, things that I'm looking at. And also, I give you an update for Bitcoin on the morning and the nights throughout the day. There's so many people in there. I have the elite traders posting charts, and I don't take a day off. 24/7, 7 days a week, ready to rock, ready to go, ready to blast, ready to move. And you guys can see it to believe it. And we love MEXC. Link to MEXC too as well if you want to jump on in. I put these all here in the pinned comment section to make it easy for you to find if you want to get on in. And please join my newsletter. I absolutely love the newsletter that we're putting out. It's amazing. Put your email address in here. Definitely hit opt-in. The reason why we like that is because I'm going to start doing cool stuff to people that are loyal to me. And if you show more and more loyalty, I'm a loyal guy. I'm an Aries, and Aries are loyal. I'm going to want to jump on in and help. So, boom. Not sure what happened there. I'm going to have to look at that while we're having... I just saw that for the first time. But I'll fix that. You can't see it too bad in the darkness, but I saw it there in the light. Yikes. Anyway, like if I go to Twitter, follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it as well. You know, possibly an aggressive long here on the 7-minute as it's scooping up and falling wedges break up 68% of the time. There's a low, there's a high, that's a higher low. Kind of a cup and handle. I don't know if I want to go that far. But there's ideas of a semi-cup and handy there, right? Interesting enough. Okay. Shout out to all the beautiful people on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And thank you for being here. So, yeah. So I would wait for us to lose this level, 43.571. Then I would short all the way back down to 42.8. That, you know, because then you're going to lose a point of control. You got the gap in the VRVP, and that you'll probably go pretty fast, and you lose this trend line. So it's all bearish, and you're below the 7-minute 200 SMA. Remember, Bitcoin hit a resistance and couldn't get it back above that key level. 44,300 really was that last kind of hurrah for it. So now let's look at our level of support or resistance that we must get back above now. Well, it's like right here. It's 43,855. It's where we had resistance, 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 resistance. Came to it here, came to it, resistance there, wicked. So that's going to be our key level. If you don't see Bitcoin getting back above 83.60, 43,860, expect more downside. We're going to have to push back above, and we're going to. So right now, the 7-minute, and that's what I love about the 7-minute. In the next hour, at the very most, we're going to get an answer to whether we get back above the 200 SMA, whether we get back. If we get above this level and do some type of retest, nice long back up to the top of the pattern, in my humble opinion. If we can't, we'll come down and do a bearish retest. I mean, beginning of a high-risk short right now, and then even to add to the short there, we continue to the downside. So it all depends on kind of what happens in the next 10 to 20 minutes, really, to an hour on the 7-minute. It's gonna be able to give us the most information we need. And, from my old school idea is, you open a short right here, right now, with a stop loss on the other side of the 200 SMA. You go over the statistics, you should win that short about 80% of the time. But to me, with the sentiment and people on the sidelines, I would wait it out to make sure that we have. I want to wait out. I want to wait out for more confirmation. I don't want to be that risky. Also, if I wanted to be that risky, I could. But I've been having a good trading week. Like, there's just no reason to be that risky. Like, if you're having a good trading week, I always talk about it. Like, there's no reason to be risky, in my humble opinion. You're just gonna risk what's been going well for you, which I find you don't need to do. You don't need to be doing. Anyway, so yeah. You can kind of see where I stand and why I stand there. And I could backtest all the theories of why I'm telling you this. Like why the 200. I could show it to you on multiple time frames, on multiple assets, and prove to you the things that I'm saying are not gibberish. And prove to you you can make money with everything that I teach you if you stay disciplined and focused. You know? If you stay disciplined and focused, you can make money with what I'm teaching you. I make money with what I'm teaching you guys in front of you guys on a regular basis. I show and prove that it works. And again, if you dedicate yourself to anything in life, and you do it all the time, every single day, you will get good at it. Period. You will get good at it. That's just the fact of life. That's just how it is. I want to show and prove that to you, each and every one of you, every single day. Thank you so much for the beautiful subscribers jumping on in. We love you. We appreciate you. Please subscribe. I want to get to 50K. Oh my gosh, my dream, my desire. Not my want, but my desire is to get to 50K. We are so close. 47,000, almost 700. 300 people away. We could almost do it today if we push forward all the way to the upside. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then we're already doing the right thing. So that's Bitcoin in a bit of a nutshell. We'll come back to it. We got it on ice. We know what it's doing. We've taken it from the weekly all the way down to the nitty-gritty of the 7-minute time frame, and I'm pretty happy with my analysis and where we stand. All right. If anything's going to happen, we're going to know about it before everybody else. We got our thumb on the dime of Bitcoin. We got it. Let's take a look at the DXY. All right. We don't want the DXY to gain too much steam here. And so far, it has been kind of moving back to the upside from the lows. Remember, it had this resistance right about here at 104.80, and it's hitting it. It's been coming up. It is making a bit of a rising wedge, but it's getting oversold in the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at the bigger, like the 4 hour. 4 hour suggests that it can start to kind of come on down. So we would love it to stay inside this channel and start this beautiful break to the downside. But it did rip back up from that bear flag, Look, shoulder, head, bit of a little right shoulder there, broke on out. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see it flipping the 200 SMA on the 4 hour time frame. Now, anything could happen. It could pump with Bitcoin. It's not like the end all of end all, but I like when things just go the way they're supposed to be going. And I would like to see the dollar index, get rejected here and fall down and bring the 200 further down. And I'd like to see the 200 cross these moving averages. And I'd like to see, I don't know. Actually, I guess I don't want to see that. I want to see them kind of continue down for a while. Already kind of crossed them there. When the little ones crossed the big one, that was a good sign. But I just want to, we don't want to see Bitcoin. We don't want to see the dollar index get back above this level right here. 104.49. All right. Looks like it could do it. I want to see this upper trend line to hold. So the dollar's been getting a little bit of steam back after Bitcoin absolutely just ripped to the upside. I still can't believe what happened. I mean, we were sitting talking about 35K, and next thing you know, we were gone. Like gone, baby, gone, Remember, rising wedges break down 68% of the time. You flip this upside down, apple eye, right? That's the falling wedge to break up. So we're looking for Bitcoin's falling wedge to break out. We're looking for this rising wedge to break down. If this starts to break out, that's Bitcoin breaking down. You get it? So like this wedge is that wedge in a way, and that's what happens when you have inversely juxtaposed assets, right? And it's cool to do this macro analysis and take a look at these two things and kind of understand how they operate together. Now, one is on the 7, one is the 4. They're not the exact shape, but the idea is, that's the overall premise. You also, if you look at the DXY, you got, a resistance here, which is looking, attempting to become a support at about 103.86. So I'd like this to break and to fall further down to the bottom of the channel. Do not want to see the dollar index break on out of here to the upside. We'll be watching it very closely. Let's take a look at U.S. tethered dominance, which should just be collapsing to the downside like we talked about. I found this descending triangle. I told you then even this bear flag, but I even drew this and I said, listen, this thing is going to dump. And honestly, that's really the whole name, and look, there it goes, But I had you at hello. I talked about this breaking down. I went over it numerous times. Even said that this could be a bigger bear flag that drops even further to the downside, which is even possible. you know. But look, that's the Livermore cylinder the opposite way. Like, that was Bitcoin booming. This is the dollar, the U.S. tether dominance just collapsing to the downside. But I went over this. I talked about it. I could see it happening before it happened. I went over how to use these macro analysis insights to be able to see where the market's going to go. All right. We're looking at this as a symmetrical triangle. And we knew that, 50% of they're 50-50, but I see them break down more than they break up. And so who wants to be in tether now when the market's ripping? Every time I'm in tether, I'm just like, what should I be in right now? Like, the question is, what am I missing out on? Why am I in tether? You know what I mean? The only thing, I use tether to swing trade. That's it. And then build a bag here and there. But that's about it, Anyway, so I'm not saying I hit this perfect area. I called for this move here. But nonetheless, I called this short to the downside on tether dominance. Beautiful move. And it continues to drop further down. It may shoulder head, try to right shoulder here. We'll see what happens, but we want to see a continuation. Some type of bear flag that just wants to continue to the downside. Tether dominance collapsing as Bitcoin becomes the main cheese squeeze of the day. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance ripping to the upside. I saw it making this flag. I kind of projected the flag. Didn't think it would rip as fast as it did. It became the hot stuff, right? Falling wedge, broke out, went sideways, then started this little flag. I had this little flag. Look, I figured like it could come down here and then break on out. So I was looking for a breakout, just not as fast and violent as it happened. But Bitcoin dominance ripping to the upside. Unbelievable. You would expect some type of pullback into altcoins now. Kind of here, we had that beautiful, master pump up. Nice pullback into the altcoins. No one wants to be in the dollar, so it doesn't look appeasing. I don't see why people would not be in alts. So, there's really nothing else to put your money into at this point. You've gotten your fill on Bitcoin. You have enough, or you have as many as you want, and you're going to buy in, or you have your strategy with Bitcoin. And now you're ready. Like, people are like, okay, I'm ready to gravitate to these alts. I want to find out more. And so the money is likely, going to shift a little bit as we come down again back into the altcoins. And that's just the cycle that we want to see. That's the cycle that will perpetuate over time when trading, cryptocurrencies. It takes people a long time to understand this stuff. Like I was talking to someone yesterday. He's like, I have Doge. Like, I guess Bitcoin's been going up. It looks like my Doge is going to do well. And I'm like, dude, if Bitcoin goes up, your Doge, like they're not the same coin and they don't operate exactly at the same time. But I say once Bitcoin starts to move, the whole market really starts to take a ripping and things start to really change. You know what I mean? And that's the key, right? Is to understand like how the ecosystem works. So important, right? It's more, and that's why like there's some guys that are great technical analysts, but like you really want to understand the halving, you want to understand the hash rate, you want to understand difficulty levels. You want to be deep into DeFi if you can. You want to be able to understand ecosystems, why they're moving, what's happening, what's the TVL, how much is in it, how many people are gravitating, what's that APY, does it attract more people to that coin? Is that coin getting used as governance? What are they voting for? What's happening? Is there news? Is there a mainnet? When are they leaving the Ethereum and starting their own mainnet? What will happen here? Who's investing? These things create buzz. The buzz creates sentiment. Sentiment creates bullish momentum. Momentum gets picked up by the indicators. I can see it. Boom. I put all things together. We nail it. And that's why we're able to kind of stay on top. Also, never taking a day off. If you just continuously push yourself every single day, you stay positive. And let's talk about how do you never take a day off? It seems impossible. How do you work 7 days a week? How is that possible? How do you never take a moment? Find something you love so much that it doesn't feel like you're working. It feels like you're doing. Fall in love with doing. Continuously do. And just know that every time you're doing something for someone else, that you're making a pathway for others to feel great and to do their own thing. And so once you feel like you're inspired, you'll begin to inspire others and you'll live a life of inspiration. And you'll find no reason to take a day off. There you go. And you can still find time, right? You can still find time to do everything that you want to do in your life and accomplish your goals, right? You have to make sure and plan for it. Like I always have to make sure now that I have time for my family, time for my kids, but I set aside time and time for myself to relax. You know what I mean? to keep my mind limber so I'm not just out of control crazed. Like when my mom died, I didn't think I was going to be able to handle it, honestly. I was like, I can't read these charts, all these people, the new stuff. I was just like, but I prayed to God, and I prayed to my mom, and I thought about who my mom was, and I said it to my sister today in a text message. I said, my mom was the strongest woman you would ever meet. She put her hand up as they took her out, like she fought to the last moment. She was sick. I never saw her in a hospital bed in my entire life until her last day. And I never saw her sick in the hospital. 74 years old, on no medication. She was doing so good. She was mentally there, taking care of herself. She was going into old age the best anyone could do it. I was so proud of my mom. She was amazing. And I owe her that, to be amazing every day. Like in her legacy, in her honor. Not to sit here and cry all day. Not to, oh, it's so hard. I know it's hard. But you know what? It's going to keep getting harder if I make it harder on myself. Also, my firm belief in her and God. Like, she's so close to me that I feel her in me. Like, I feel her in my soul. I feel her in my soul. I just, it's just, she's closer to me now than she ever was. I can't explain it, but, yeah. And so, you push forward no matter what happens in life. You got trades, you got portfolios, you can't crumble. I could have got depressed, and everyone's, oh yeah, he's, his mom died. And then everyone will give you a pass too. You know what? But the strong, I remember telling someone else that my mom passed, or when my dad passed, and famous YouTuber guy, Brian Rose, and he was like, hey, this is more reason to rip it. My mom is 76, RIP to your mom. Yeah, my mom was 74 years old. Shout out to Crypto Cash in the house. Shout out to everybody here. Gala is launching their own chain, Gala chain. Of course they are. Gala's going to be huge. My mom also passed last week at 74. Condolences. She stacked Bitcoin for a year, man. Shout out to Clifford Jorgensen, man. God bless your brother. My mom passed recently. I've been using it as a bit of an excuse, but glad with what you're saying. Inspiring. Thank you. You can use that as an excuse to be down and out. And your family and your friends and everyone around you will let you mope around. But honestly, it's time to take your life by storm. It's time to go all the way. Anyway, let's get into the altcoins. Let's talk about the super chats. And let's celebrate my mom's life by just celebrating life every day. Can you take a look at COREUM making a cup and handle? Thank you. We got $28 in super chat. Sam, do you think even with TA being bullish that the market maker have to cash out at one point with all that borrowed money? Check Tara X, please, Mr. Swipe. Flaha, Daisy, and Finn. God bless Crypto Bear Baker. We love you, man. RIP Life for Mom. Thank you. Hey, man, my mom passed recently. I'm so sorry to hear that. Your mom will see your success in crypto, and it's coming. Mama proud. You're the GOAT, Sammy. Nobody works as hard as you. Shout out to Life for Adam. We love you. Let's look at NEXA, Fat, Ada. And let me grab these super chats and push them into a chat with me and Shano. And that way I'll have them. Sean, I'm sorry to bombard our chat. I hope it's okay. Jasmine can make people rich. Let's pump it up. I don't know, man. I always got a weird feeling ever since they changed their market cap. Can you do TN? Matic? Appreciate the grind. All up. Your mom would and is proud of you. You're one of the strongest people I know. God bless you, Sam. Thank you, man. Mine was 45 when she passed. I was 21 and had to take care of my younger brother. Making her proud in my everyday goal. I told her 10 years ago I'm going to be a trader. Today, I am because of you. Amen. My mom was 10 years ago, went into the doctor and had a clean bill of health. Next day, walked out of a movie theater and dropped dead from a blood clot. When the time comes, God takes us. Never say goodbye. Never say goodbye. Amen. Crypto Cash, very similar to me, man. Thank God I was with my mom. Anyway, I don't want to make it a sad fest and a cry fest. I want people to know they can come here and learn about cryptocurrency and get what they were looking for. The technical analysis. So look, we're struggling now. Now I feel a bit of rejection at below the 200 SMA. We tried a few times to get above it. We're attempting to double bottom here on the small time frame. But now we're starting to kind of play games, And look, there's a bit of an M there. And we're making a bit of like a 50-50 pattern here now. I'm more bearish now because, 2 times you attempted to get back above the 200 SMA. Hard rejection on the 5. Look, boom, boom. You got to get above this 200 SMA in the 5 or the 7. You got to do it in the next, I say, 2 hours at the most, at the very most. Otherwise, we're bearish.
So I've switched to being a bear now for now. You know what I mean? Overall, I'm still bullish. But, smaller time frames, I'm definitely bearish right now. To me, that's breaking down. I'm not jumping into a short right now, though, I'll tell you that. Shorts are getting rocked recently. I'd rather let the market play out and find a long later on. I don't have to be in every trade every single time. Some days I feel like I have to be. I got 1,200 people watching me, 1,000 people, and I want to show off and be the man. And other days it's about my discipline, and people will respect you no matter what you do, as long as you're consistent about what you do. Consistency is what people will respect about and love about you and honor you for. Your consistency. Knowing that when you say you're going to be somewhere, you're going to be there. That matters to people. All right? Look how many people it matters to me here. Look how we built this community, because you show up when you're supposed to show up. You do what you're supposed to do. You make the grind happen. You know what I mean? I don't mind about the coin, Jamie. It's about the MM. I had thoughts on my super chat. Can you give me yours? Yeah, we'll take a look. The market maker have to cash out. I mean, I don't have any thoughts on that. I just look at technical analysis. Like, to me, that's just too far out for me. You know what I mean? That's thinking too far. Like, the TA is going to show me when we need to short, and then when we need to short, then the market makers will cash out. Like, my brain doesn't work like that. Like, I've changed the way my brain works. Anyway, shout out to Bryson Gonzalez. NEXA, please. We'll take a look at NEXA. Shout out to Ava Juarez. Wants FET. Cluck, givers gain. I do enjoy my morning TA. Keep going. Love you. 305. Shout out to Cryptopoyo. We love you. Hello from Seattle. Can you look at Ada? Thank you for all you do. Shout out to Denise. God bless you. Is XRP breaking out? Bull market for £2. Let's get the likes above the resistance, my man. All the way to 500. I see that. Hey, Lifer, signing up for your trading group is the best decision I made in a long time. Love the energy. Could you check DIONE, please? DIONE. Shout out to Jake Sully. We love you. Could you look at COREUM from VM Alum Old Corp? And Mr. Swipe, what do you think about TA being bullish? The market maker may have to cash out at one point. With all the borrowed money, check Tara X, please. The technical analysis will show you when things aren't bullish. That's what I keep trying to say. All right. Honestly, because most people are in fear right now, probably a smart idea to open up a long. You know what I mean? Against status quo. A lot of buy wick right there too, telling me the stochastics are low. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. So we just got to get back above the 200 SMA, which we're attempting to do right now. We're attempting to do it. This will set the precedent for the day. We get above this, we go back, it's sideways price action. This pennant starts to move, and we're kind of back to business as usual. We lose this, we start to drop. We're talking about Bear City. We drop back down to here, right? So you can see how the 7-minute really was the key today. And right now, look at that. Getting the nice move. Back above. Was a low buy there, 43.7? Possibly. A lot of guts to long right now. Stop loss below this low. Let's see what could happen. I mean, there's a low, there's a high, there's a higher low. You expect a higher high now. Again, today, at the end of the day, we got to get above 44,300 to remain bullish. That's going to be our key level we need to break back above for Bitcoin. Okay? Super important. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from in the chat? Let's do this. We haven't done a roll call. Watch this. Where's everybody from in the chat? I want to see where you're all from, and I'll get into the next super chat. But where's everybody from in the chat? Watch this. Where are you from? San Antonio, Portugal, Spain, Philadelphia, Tampa, Hungary, Long Island, Italy, Singapore, Pennsylvania, Kansas City, England, Australia, Atlanta, Bristol, Taiwan, California, oh my gosh, Thailand, Phoenix, Mexico, Singapore, Arizona, London, Honduras, wow, Jamaica, Nigeria, the Philippines, Oklahoma, Tucson, Michigan, Montgomery, Macedonia, UK, Charlotte. Unbelievable. Look at this. Napa, California, Sagittarius, Sam Spur Earth, Charleston, Cincinnati, Eastern Canada, Sarasota, Nickerson, Minnesota, Hilton Head Island, Santan Valley, Wyoming, Slovenia, wow, Pensacola, Canada, Punta Gorda, North Korea, Malta, Orion's Belt, Wales, UNFI, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Philippines, Dominican Republic, St. Genevieve, Mozambique, Scottsdale. Unbelievable. Quebec, Minnesota, Lithuania, Charlotte, England, Baton Rouge, Oslo, France. Dude, God's Universe, the Netherlands, Long Island, Sarasota, Afghanistan, South Dakota, Columbus, Cambodia, Cape Coral, Mozambique, Georgia, Guy, Philly, Earth, Panama, the Moon. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, I'm just, wow. New Orleans, From Your World. Wow. Wow. So look, we got nicely above the 200 SMA now. Now I switch bullish. Bullish, baby, bullish. If we can stay above it, life is good. This would make me want to open up a long. You know what I mean? With a stop loss on the other side of the 200 on the 7. So let me take a look here. And the 15-minute looks really nice right now for a possible move. Now, be careful. But this is what I'm looking at now for a possible gain. Stop loss below that wick. So I'm looking for a stop at 43,370. I'm looking for a gain at 46,674. All right. And remember, look, I've taken the $5,000 to 64,830. Just keep doing our thing. And it's a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio. I mean, risk $200 to gain $1,000. To me, great trade. I could take a $2,000 hit, you know? I mean, a $200 hit. So there we go. And I'm tight to the bone, and I could easily lose the money. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? You have to determine this is probably going to be a loss. But so far, we're getting the bounce to the upside pretty nicely for Bitcoin. All about this 200 SMA. Now, we keep this 200 SMA for the rest of the day. I'll be watching it. If we stay above it on the 7-minute, my trade will go well. If we start to, go below it again, then I'll cut my trade off. And I'll redo it again. All right. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. And now I see the 7-minute moving back to the top. Falling wedge broke out. That is a breakout. Technically bought a bit of a breakout, but I was buying the confirmation above the 200 SMA. A gap in the VRVP says we can get back up here pretty quick to 44,084. But only time will tell. All right. And I'm not going to sit on the trade all day long. This is something I'm just going to let sit, and we'll follow through in a later time. All right. You can see my trade is 30x leverage. I used $450. That put me at $16,000 in the trade. All right. And I could lose $200. I'll be back down to 6282, about 6,300 and I'll be okay. I mentally can handle the loss. But you have to talk through the loss before you're able to. You have to commit to the loss before you make it. Otherwise, you'll peel the trade off at a weird time. Once you commit to the loss and you're okay with it, and you tell yourself this is what's going to happen if it doesn't go my way, you just have to be okay with that. All right. That's a fast $6. That's how you make a cup of coffee in a half a second. Right. Anyway. And this is why we do what we do here on the channel. We teach you how and why to watch price action, where to watch it, how to figure it out, how to make sense of just straight chaos. Price action is just all this crazy movement, but we can help you make sense of what's happening in the market. Let's take a look at NEXA and move into the altcoins for the day. And notice that we don't even talk about the S&P anymore because it's pointless. No, not to be rude. I mean, it's Bitcoin, baby. But we'll look at the NASDAQ and we'll look at the S&P. At one point today, when needed. So I talked about NEXA coming back down, right, to the golden pocket. It wicked to the golden pocket, came up. I mean, this is looking nice. This is a key load-up zone, in my opinion, for NEXA. So, again, very low-cap gem, but it's proof-of-work mining. That's why I like it. Similar to Casper, similar to XNA. So it's around that same idea. The miners could pick it up, use it a bit, give it a little bit of a pump, and see where it goes. So I don't like where NEXA is going. To me, this is definitely somewhat of a buy zone. If it did rip down to the 786, so be it. It's at a high volume node here, hanging out. Previous support or resistance, you had a little bit here. And NEXA has been high before, all the way back in March. I mean, we went all the way to that 43 for. So, that's like a 4x from where you're at, about 3.5. So watching NEXA for a move. Let's see how big this move would be. And again, this is a low cap gem that I put in what I'm willing to lose. I just want to make that very, very clear. 100% possible gains coming for NEXA. All right. Its tokenomics are no. Oh, that's no good. Let's take a look at FET. USDT. Fetch AI on MEXC. All right, so I wanted FET to go to 73. It looked like it could. It consolidated nicely, but got resistance. Let's take a look at how the 4-hour looks. Yeah, see, it looked beautiful. Broke out, could not get back above 57, 58, right? That support and resistance level. That's why it's all about support and resistance to me. Some say it's back in the zone. I say it fell out of the pattern. It's making a kind of a bear flag or something. Yeah, I'm not too happy about how that looks. Can you take a look at NAKA, please, sir? Shout out to Moonshine for the $5 super chat. God bless you. And shout out to all the fan funding. Let's talk about each one of you. Moonshine, thank you. Jadam Williams, UOS. Carlos Alejandre, UNFI. Mr. Swipe, VMI alum for the 5. Jake Sully for the 250 DLP. Jamie Zeno for the 2 pound. Bull Market 2024 for the 2 pound. Denise P, Crypto Pollo, Ava Juarez, and Bryson Gonzalez. God bless each and every one of you for donating to the channel. Very, very nice of you. $44 in chat revenue. You bought me breakfast. Thank you very much. I work hard for that breakfast. So look, I mean, FET could be staying inside this channel. Just getting tight. You don't want it to lose this trend line, though. I would move this alert here. If it came up, goes sideways, hits my alert, I'd be looking in it. I own FET long term. I've been getting into FET since it was like back in 20, 19 cents, on the lows. Way back in the beginnings of the bear markets, even down in here, 10 cents and 9 cents. So I've been holding FET for a long time. And yeah, I believe it's going to be a great AI play. And so that's why I hold it. It is keeping a higher low. The trend line's okay. You want to see it break this trend line. This kind of falling wedge that's in on the 4-hour back to the upside. It is oversold. Looks like it could do it. I wouldn't, again, could be the best price ever. If I was DCing, I would probably grab this price. But if I was looking to swing, I'm looking for it to kind of consolidate. But the next target is pretty nice. It's about 76 cents. 45% gains from this low for Fetch AI. So still on the radar. I like what I'm seeing for Fetch. Actually, it's not too bad now that I really assess it. Blessings, Sam. Thank you for your time. Like always, shout out to Stas for the 6'9". God bless you, brother. May you stay blessed as well. Amen. To you and yours. AVAX, please. XRP. Shout out to Outsiders. Shout out to IOTX. Shout out to Mr. Real. I always DCA to Bitcoin all the time. Yeah, I'm always buying more Bitcoin. Always, literally. These prices have me in shock. I mean, I wanted anything below 40K. Anything below 35K was a steal. Now, look, I mean, now that this is what happens. Bitcoin gets out of reach so fast, so quickly for the average person. And when it is in reach, they're in fear to get in. And it's so sad. Be like the one things that could change people's lives. And this is what I really teach. I teach how to get your mind right, how to change your mind. So look, I could see Cardano making a big move. 54 cents was the next target. It ripped up to 44, 45 today. Cardano absolutely ripping. And it has a bigger ecosystem now. It has good DeFi running. And this is going to be the year of Cardano's really heavy in DeFi. And it's got bridges, it's got movement. And I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when they see what happens to Cardano on the long term, And look, Cardano even was back here at 24 cents. Even Cardano is about to double up. Even Cardano, right? Look at Adam and Eve double bottom. That's breaking up. 54 cents for Cardano on the way. It just has to get through this high volume node, and then I see it ripping to 55 cents. It probably has a pullback or a flag along the way, but that's my bigger target for Cardano. Give me some Cardanas over here. And you could see it. It was starting to make a beautiful, ascending triangle, really. starting to look, I mean, I love this pattern. When things get really bullish, it's such a pretty pattern. It plays out so nice. It you know, mathematically or, you know, geometrically just looks nice. Just looks beautiful, right? So look, we're in the money now nicely on that trade, right? Up $42, 9%. Again, I'm showing you how to win every day. I mean, when I open up a trade, we're hitting it almost every time here now. Like 90% accuracy here. Not saying this trade's going to rip, but so far so good. I mean, look at that pumpage. And now we're really starting to get the movement. Short squeeze, anybody? Yep, massive short squeeze on Bookmap. This is what I do. It's 11:30, right? Somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30, Wednesday or Tuesday, you're going to watch me longing into a short squeeze and getting paid. I do this all the time. I use Bookmap. It's amazing. I'm going to get my liquidation indicator figured out today at 4 p.m., and then we're going to be back on. But you can see, I mean, there's liquidity. And there's a big bar of liquidity right above us at 44.5. It says that's kind of likely where we may go. They got liquidity on either side right now. I'll give you that, right? But nice pump back above 44,000. Can we hold and get into this zone? And then 46K right up there. That's kind of crazy. But we just got a beautiful short squeeze right there. Look at that. I mean, beautiful short squeeze for the trade. All right. Now, a trade like this too, I might just take it off. I mean, take that little gain. You know, the key is to win over and over again. You do that 10 times a day, 350, and you do it effortlessly. Open one up, close one out, open one up, close one out. You know, and you know, again, I used to be at 36x leverage and freaking out. Now I do it in complete calmness because look, I know exactly what I can win and what I can lose. You know? And you know what? I risked that. I could be losing 200. I could take this, and now I don't have to risk the 200 anymore. I'm back. I'm in profit. And I already took a trade earlier today, so that's just another trade. Okay? The key is not to care about anything and just to, oh, wow, look at that. That wants to go again. It's looking like it wants to squeeze these shorts, man. These people just don't, they just want to keep shorting the market. They refuse to believe that there could be another move coming. All they're looking at is the bigger time frame, that daily, that bearish div. They're like, it's got to go down. It's got to go down when you stop shorting so much. If you keep shorting, you're going to give the market maker too much liquidity. He's going to go get you. It's almost like the shorts create the pump to the upside. And then once we've ripped through the shorts, the liquidity is there for us to continue to buy because when a short has to cover, they have to buy Bitcoin. You have to remember this. So they're creating the pump indirectly. We need people to short the market to continue to pump the market. It's how it is. The vicious cycle of trading, right? See, now I'm on this small time frame, the 5 second, looking for a flag. Almost got it. That's a bit of a descending triangle, you know, right there. I'm not a huge fan of that. But you're like, can the 5 second get the move? 30 second to the 21-day moving average. Can you please check out Viote? You're awesome, man. Thank you for always showing up. Shout out to John Preston. God bless you for being here. Coin and Cake have been doing well for me on the short gains to boost me back up and get me back in for all of us. God bless you, Chris Klein. We love you, man. I made my own PA that analyzes price trends based on each hour of the day. Interested? Can refresh data and put it somewhere. Yeah, please email me at cryptolifer.com. Cryptolifers@gmail. Or, you know, and that stinks, man. Look at that. Massive dumpage. 18. And I'm always ready just to take it as a win. I'm all about the win rate. Let me see if we're too high on the 7-minute. Yeah, 7 minutes getting overbought. But I mean, it's still pumpage. 1 minute got too far away from the 21. We need the 1 minute to consolidate here. Something like this. I mean, we're bullish as long as we stay above that 200 SMA. You know what I mean? On the 7-minute time frame. Crazy we got that sell-off wick, though. Whatever happened there. Someone wanted to take big profit. I'm always ready to just jump on out and take a gain. I don't like to lose. You know what I'll do is I'm going to take the gain because I want to see this consolidate. I want to see it consolidate. And then I'm going to enter back in on the 1 minute time frame in that flag. Like I could sell now for gains. There you go, though. I wanted this bounce. See, I want to see this stay in this type of flag. And that target, definitely, people are going to be selling once you get to this resistance at 44,250. Definitely, probably good. That's where I will be looking to probably scalp out. You know what I mean? Okay, another 100 subs, 49,600 subscribers and climbing. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, everyone. We really appreciate you, and we love you. And so I like to project the chart before it happens, right? Still back up 30 beans now. I like that. And above 30 is a good win for me. I'll take it. All right, so Cardano, I see it, doing damage, but I'd be flagging out the 1 hour right now. And again, if Bitcoin rips, everything could possibly rip, but I'd wait for this 1 hour to flag out and then get our continuation move. I don't jump into candles. I wait for things to play out. All right. Now we're up 9%, the most we've ever been in the trade, right? Back above the 200 SMA, good sign. This would be cool if this was just a flag like this, and this flag rips the length of the pole, and we just go, which I've seen many times. It could definitely happen. We're at 444. I've been seeing the 44 lately when I never used to see it. Now I'm up $44 when Bitcoin's at 44. You don't think that was weird? Anyway, now we're up 10% in the trade. And man, we just keep winning, baby. We just keep winning. You know what I mean? Doesn't stop, baby. Doesn't stop. I show you guys how to win every time I'm here. Like whether it's a long, whether it's a short, I don't care what it is. Altcoin, bean coin, lean coin, fat coin, skinny coin, big coin, short coin. You know what I mean? Long coin, you name it. We be banging on them. $4 and $44. This order is paying for my day. I can go back to bed. Amen. And so far, we're making the right call for Bitcoin. May God bless you all for being here. All right. Oh no, big moves here. Litecoin adoption skyrockets. Now accepted for Microsoft payments. BitPay now allows Litecoin to be used for topping up Microsoft accounts, marking a significant step in cryptocurrency adoption. Litecoin stock price increased by 5% from $69 to $72. And I still hold a boatload of Litecoin. So we'll see, I'll have to sell it at the right time. But that's good news. You know what I mean? Shout out to anyone who's holding their Litecoins and excited about that. Also, HNT started getting some big news and getting ripped. Crypto-fueled wireless carrier Helium Mobile debuts unlimited nationwide plan in the U.S. Helium's mobile service combines peer-to-peer Helium network and Internet of Things project that uses Solana blockchain in a nationwide 5G network. So we actually have a coin that you can actually use. The Helium Mobile is offering an outdoor Helium Mobile hotspot for $4.99 and an indoor one for $2.49. According to Helium Hotspots map, there are currently 3,000 active mobile hotspots in the network and 350,000 active hotspots for Internet of Things devices. I still don't trust that network for some reason. You know what I mean? I guess they make you feel like, is it going to work? But it'd be interesting to get one to see what happens. I'd love to do a guinea pig style. If they gave me one, I'd try it out. Hint, hint, HNT, Helium, But that's interesting. Trade at $42, up 9%. We'll see where it goes. So far, so good. We made the move. All right. Bitcoin looking nice in this little pennant that we wanted it to make now. And this is why you project. I see things before the mass. I want to be ahead of everybody else. I can take their money if I can see what they can't. The key is I can see more things than they can't, and I want you to have lifer vision. Over time, you're going to have the same vision, right? I play with this market every single day. The market is my realm, all right? I'm in some heavier spot trades right now too as well, and I'm looking for a move. in another big spot trade. All right. I got 12K in allocation. I'm looking to swing. All right. I have an HNT and it looks good. Was traveling from Sweden to Toronto. Internet and calls were free. Amazing. In 2 years, it ain't going to matter one bit if you bought Bitcoin at 36 or 44,000. Casper just got a new listing. That's big news. Shout out to Pickle Rick in the house. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. Shout out to Nicholas Basler. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Live Show, baby. Let's go. Stay motivated. Stay ready to go. Make it happen. And see, like, yeah, when it plays game, I mean, you're in this chop. I don't like to lose. About to take my 20 bones. I try to do this. I try to do last price. Boom, quick. I'll lose 200 if price moves pretty fast in my, the other way. And I feel like if it does what it's supposed to do, it's going to get tighter in the zone, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on that. 7 minute is also getting very overbought. You know what I mean? And I believe I'll be able to get into a flag at another time. So I'm going to take my 17, 16, whatever it was. I'll keep hitting last 100, close long. Last 100, close long. Last 100. This has hurt me in the past, though. There you go. And usually, if you can do last, you shouldn't be able to pay. You shouldn't pay a fee, you know. That way, I don't lose $200. You know what I mean? H-bar, have you tried? H-pack is good. Coinbase needs to get Casper already. I've been in full port sale the last few months. Gains, gains, gains. Amen. Full port sailor, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't do the full port, man. No. Me no full port, no. I'm not Dave Full Portnoy. You know what I mean? All right, let's take a look at XRPZ. The coin that never was. No, I love XRP, don't get me wrong. Shout out to the XRP army and everyone that loves XRP. I'm with you. Trust me, I've owned XRP since 16 cents. I've owned XRP since I even traded it back in the last bull run in 2017. So, I love XRP. XRP can do numbers over time. I watched this cup and handle on the daily. It said it was going to pump. It never did anything. It went lackluster. So I'm going to delete all the old stuff. We're going to get rid of the moving averages for now. We're going to take a look at the bigger time frames. We're going to break it down for you nice and easy. Nice and simple. Like we do here on this channel. Major resistance there at 91. 92. That's going to be a big area you want to get above. If you can get above that, likely you can start moving pretty fastly up to 134. So that's something to hope for. All right, 75 cents resistance, and this beautiful resistance that became support at about 52 cents has been holding. So what I see forming is this, ascending triangle here, and you're just kind of in the motion, and it's a big asset, takes a lot of money, but I do hear about more and more people grabbing up some XRP here and there, and so I see by October of next year, it possibly being $1.17. So if you want to wait for a year and a half to double up, be my guest. XRP, baby. I'm not saying, I'm sorry, I'm joking around. That may not be the actual case. We don't know for sure. But all I'm saying is it's a slow mover. It's a big coin. It's had a lot of nonsense around it, which have pushed people, away. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings who's a huge XRP fan. And honestly, one of my best friends is a huge XRP guy, and I've been into XRP for a long time. I don't like to talk badly about it in any way, shape, or form at all. I really don't. But I do like to be realistic and talk about the facts. And the facts are that it's a freaking stable coin, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's gone from 56 cents to 62 cents while the whole market has ripped. Since last year, in a year now. This is December to December. Fine, it was 36 cents. Fine, it doubled up. At one point, it went to fine. It tripled up at one point. But, it never seems to hold its gains and continue. Recently, it's been sold off every time it seems to get a little bit of love. Boom, 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 boom. I watch it consolidate here and fall through here on the 3-day chart. It is bullish. I see a pump back up somewhere to 77, 76. Now, if it gets above 75, it'll rip to 92. And then we can talk about a whole new scenario, right? I'm a Casper Maxi, and I'm okay with it. All legs, no dorso, doesn't like the XRP FUD. Nah, it's funny. She just likes to trade it. I don't know if she's like a huge lover of XRP as much as she just trades the coin itself. Can you go over and give a dive on STORJ? Interesting. Let's take a look at DIONE on NEXA, and we'll add STORJ to the list. We will go over STORJ. I'm not going over it. So I talked about DIONE when it kind of came down to that 786, then put it in this little flag there at 02. Went up a little bit, not enough love. I hear some people talk about it in the gaming world and kind of, I like it, this and that. I'm not a fan of the chart. Pretty strange chart. Also want to look at it differently. You know, I never deep dived it completely. I'd like to take a look at it. Just kind of what exactly is DIONE and exactly what does it do, right? $33,000 market cap. All right. 7,500 holders in climbing on November 30th. Uniswap, MEXI, Open Ocean. Smaller coin. All right. 95% of the circulating supply. Pretty awesome. It's a good sign. Not being hoarded. DIONE is the native token for DIONE protocol, an ecosystem with the goal of improving the ease of the purchase of decentralized tokens for the general public. DIONE puts major focus on the development of bridging the gap between real-world issues in the DeFi space, creating a system powered by renewable energy, combining convenience in a safer, decentralized future. Both have the common denominator of people. DIONE protocol, or DIONE, you know, like the Greek god DIONE, right? I don't know. The protocol puts people first by first building a strong community. I mean, it has a good yes idea, but if you look at Casper and read about what it is, so it has a premise of a premise. You know what I mean? What it wants to be, but we don't know what it will be, right? I don't know. I don't really buy into it yet, to be honest. You know, I'm not blown away here by DIONE. Doesn't speak to me. It's not like, oh my gosh, you know. No, I don't want. I just want to leave. Crazy, right? We're gonna just take all your data from you, and we're gonna tell you we're gonna do it. If you don't let us do it, then you should leave. All right, well, I'm out. All right, I'm out. Anyway, what's hot today in the last hour or two? Sometimes look, Ordi booming, up 20% in the last hour. You guys were screaming. Celestia did hit $10, out of control. Beam booming, up 19% in 24 hours. I did get in last night. I'm already up on that. Stacks doing damage. Conflux was up there. The Graph token, Oasis Rose had a little bit of a move. Not much. Blur, Avalanche, SEI, Injective. I got a lot of setups in the trading group that are looking hot. Injective's one of them. Sands one of them. I would definitely start. And guys, everyone in my trading group, scan through all my setups, please. It's going to be hard, but just literally go through all my posts for the last, take 2 hours and just scan and then copy paste the charts, put them into a Google sheet, chart the ones that you like, put the alerts on the ones. If you do that, you're going to have such a higher win rate. You're going to make so much more money. It's just a better, wow, already went to 57. I can't believe that. I thought it was overbought at, 22. Unbelievable. The only thing about DIONE, I would say, was did it break in and out back inside a pattern? That's the only way I could make it make any sense to me. Here it's starting to make some type of pattern here too. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I like the premise. It sounds cool. What they want to do sounds great. But it's they're giving us a story that everybody wants. I don't know. I'm not, and it's a very vague what we're about. You read about Casper, it's yes. You read about GFAL, you're wow. This guy used to do something. His name's Trip Hawkins. He represented one of the biggest video games in the world. He made money doing that. Unbelievable. You know what I mean? And so then you read this and you just don't get that same, you don't get the same vibe. You don't get the same feeling. You don't get that same push-pull idea. I'm not a fan. You know what I mean? Looks like it could go to 0.6 as I say that. Let it consolidate. 3-day chart looks interesting. 4-hour chart's kind of looking like Bitcoin's charting away, just kind of milling around sideways here. Are we about to lose the 200 SMA back on that 7 again? We are. Look at that. Now you're back to Bear City. You know, and remember, I sold. I don't know, I have this uncanny ability to know when to get out. When something just doesn't pan out in my favor, I'm always like, You know, I care more about my win rate than anything else, and that's been helping me become a better, become a better trader. Like, you know, just my win rate's the most important. Not like, oh, I can't wait for the gain. I don't really care about the gain anymore. All I care about is I want as many green trades in a row as humanly possible. Every single time. I want a beautiful win rate. And I don't want it being messed up by stupid indecision behavior. You know, now look, the 7-minute looks like it's going to dump. I'll be honest, this doesn't look good at all for the bulls. Resistance again at 44,000. Couldn't get back above it. Now you're going to break the 200 SMA and possibly go lower. Let me get rid of this. You're battling the 200 SMA on the 7. It's the gateway to the bearish or the bullish moves. You stay above it, everything is okay. You fall down, you're coming right down here to 43,592. You lose that. And then again, like I'll show you, you're going to the 200 SMA on the 15, which is going to be somewhere at 42,800. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go to 42.8 if we keep showing signs that we can't get back above key levels. Now, we could just be playing games here. I get it, and we could come back up. And this could just be consolidation. But right now they're chopping up. They're playing with us. They're chopping around. You know, the market's in chop. They're chopping us up and down. Look, they've been in chop all night, really. Chop, 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 chop. I traded it because I got lucky, made a move. You know what I mean? I was prepared. Lucky is, opportunity meets being prepared. I took advantage, but I could have lost both the trades that I won. And then this morning trade was like, But, 3 scalps in a row, I'm feeling good. Okay, everyone, thank you for being here. May God bless each and every one of you. Again, apologize for the lateness. I won't let it happen again. All right. Yo, Life for Jesus coin is the most resilient coin I've ever seen that just keeps rising. Blessings no matter the circumstances. That's true. Power. God bless you and the family. God bless you, Lee, man. And it's funny, I went over it, and it was, remember the TA, even though I was like, I didn't want to give it good TA, even though I love Jesus, and I'm super, I'm all about the good books. But, yeah, but look, so we copied it here. We went to Dex Screener. And this is I like Dex Screener a lot. A lot of people don't talk about it. They're all on Dex Tools. But Dex Screener, to me, place to be. And we paste that in there, and we take a look at Jesus Coin. And I remember us putting out a bullish move for it. Yeah, this little flag here. It did break out huge. Came all the way down again, though. Ripped people and came back up again. I don't know, a bit treacherous. Oh, but yeah, we put it out down. We were talking about it down there. Wow, the thing broke out huge. And now it's consolidating at a higher level. Right? I don't own any of this. I'm not getting into it. I don't FOMO for it. I'm just not in the meme zone right now. I'm more focused on building real-time bags. And I'm not saying that it's someone that isn't doing what I'm doing. I'm not putting down anyone. I'm just, right now, I'm focused on real-time bags. Things that I'm really looking for. I'm not in that meme motion. I will get back into meme motion. Trust me. I'm just, I get into pockets of time where I'm like all about a meme, and right now I'm just not into meme motion. I'm into like just kind of building, looking, like, I'm trying to swing trade this 12K into something that gets me excited. That's what I'm looking for. So look, back below the 200 SMA, Bear City again for Bitcoin. I remain bearish now. It is what it is. Things were going well. But I didn't like the resistance that we were getting. And I didn't even care about the resistance. I figured I could get into a better flag. So I sold, wanting this flag to fill out. If this had filled out, I then would have entered the trade. And that's why I like my projections, because they keep me from getting banged out. Like if I only trade flags that have high probabilities and I wait for the flags to play out, then I only get into high probability trades. It's so simple to me, and I figured it out one day. I was like, oh my God. Everyone else just does whatever they want. I will only do what the charts tell me I can do, and therefore I will be successful over time. I show improve this every day, and some days you don't make a huge amount of money. Some days you make less. Some days you do lose. But if you have a strategy that you consistently use over and over again, you'll have, you'll feel comfortable when you trade. It'll feel fun to trade. It won't feel so scary. You'll have a level of comfort when you trade. All right. The battle for this 200 SMA is on right now on this 7-minute time frame. Candle just closed, trying to get back above it yet again. And the battle to stay inside of this trend line. The weirdest thing that I keep seeing, that it's like a really bit of a stretch for me, is kind of like this head and shoulder, but it's like slanted this way. But it could end up being a head and shoulder pattern, I'm being really creative on that one, but I got to, See, now I'm like back to possibly wanting to switch short again. And to me, when I'm back and forth short and long like this, it means I'm in chop, man. And when I'm in chop, I usually step out of the market and let the dust settle. However, there could be a really nice short to take, and I don't want to miss it too. So, major resistance for Bitcoin now, where we add a key support zone on that point of control. Look, bounce, 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 bounce. Resistance. We could not flip 44,000. Just could not. They said no. The gatekeepers said no way. Bookmap now holding a fat red order at 43.4 and 43,000. Almost kind of like saying, hey, we're going down now. We're going to take you down. There's just so much more liquidity below us. It's very likely we go further to the downside now than to the upside. Anything is possible, but now it's very likely we go further to the downside. Now one could technically just open up a short here with a stop loss on the other side of the 200 SMA. Keeping it very simple. Something like this. Take it to this next level. 10-minute 200 SMA is the next line. Right there, 15-minute. These are the next key levels to look for. Again, I still think of all those people on the sidelines buying up Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Now, to me, anything below 45,000 is a steal. All right? Let's take a look at COREUM and Tara as we rip through these super chats. 11:57, and I was late, so I'll stay the extra time to give you back your time. I apologize to have you watch Bookmap for too long like that. COREUM, I put in this little flag, boomed up. Still up like 22%. At one point was up 56. Came down to a 786 golden and Fibonacci retracement. So I don't know what this coin does. I've never heard of it. I've heard of it. I just never really deep dived it. It's got a $52 million market cap coming in at 10 cents. Looks like it's been sold off for the last, I don't know. Oh, no, okay. It pumped up nicely from 9 cents all the way up to about 11 cents. Came back down. Now it's in a bit of a flag here. On the month, it was low at 9. Seemed to bottomed out. And for the year, it's down in the dumps from when it used to be. Its all-time high. Some are sitting at about 63 cents, even at that peak there at about 68 cents. So you're looking at a 6 to 7x from its all-time high. Certic, audited there. 100% of the supply self-reported. $52 million market cap. It says Cosmos. It's on the Cosmos blockchain. So you can get it for OSMO. OSMO is like an exchange token. We actually traded OSMO on NEXA. My man Stack put out OSMO. I mean, if you look at this on osmosis, it looks good, like it's going to pump out. And again, it's consolidating nicely. Not much to really talk about it. Let's take a look at it. I believe it's also on, here on MEXC. I just wanted to look at it on the decentralized exchange. So, I mean, you got yourself above support or resistance. You have a key resistance right here. A clear cup, Sammy cup and handy to the upside, all the way to the upside here. Sammy cup and handy. My goodness. So I like what I'm seeing. It doesn't mean we're out the water yet just because we're in a beautiful flag, though. And we could come to the 618 golden pocket, maybe even come back to 985, and tussle there. I like what I'm seeing, though. Let's take a look at the 8 hour, the 6 hour. They're getting oversold. The 1 hour looks good to me, too. High risk, high reward. You can tell the spread is light. It's a very low cap. You know what I mean? I'm not into it too much, but the probabilities are starting to play off that you could get possibly 31% gains coming out of it. High risk for 31%, in my humble opinion, but you do you. You do whatever makes you happy for COREUM. Let's take a look at Tara, which Tara's like a runner for me. Tara's a coin that I believe in, could do some damage. Was looking nice, though, and kind of fell off into the flag, which was kind of, a little kind of irritating. Looked like it was going to make a bigger, nicer consolidated or more bullish consolidation at first. Ripped all the way back up to 2 again, which was crazy. It could be making a large bowl, like a bigger rounded bottom here too, right? I'm not in love with the TA on this. You know what I mean? Visually, I could look at something and usually be like, oh, that looks great. And this just doesn't do it, right? Is that her calling my name now? Is that what you do? You send her on me? Tara's kind of got, look, a shoulder, a head, kind of retro. It's got a little mini cup and handle going. Honestly, I don't. Bottom of the channel, likely going to come back to the top of the channel. Hey, now, you don't do that on the show. Calm it down. I'm live streaming to everyone around the world, honey. I know, but I'm around the world right now, honey bun. I'm around the world right now. So funny, right? It's making a falling wedge. Eventually, the falling wedge will break to the upside 68% of the time. Okay. Here was your direct impulse, which I would pull a FIP from. And you're in the 618 golden pocket. However, I wouldn't mind if it came all the way back down to the 786. It's taken a long time to consolidate, for whatever reason. But I see a move back up, a move back down somewhere, and then a move on, and you want that Adam and Eve double bottom, something. You want that, divergence here. And I like this. If it comes back down, I'm going to be buying more Tara at these low prices before it absolutely becomes the wanted coin. It's going to get hot again. I'm telling you right now, when the AI narrative pops, Tara tends to rip. Tends to kind of rip with Caspa too. It's interesting. It's got some connection there. So Tara's hot. I like what it's doing. I like what it does. I like the team. I've done a deep dive on it on the channel a few times. Yeah, but I want to see it get further down into this beautiful buy zone if possible. Now, that may be the best we ever get at 148, and it bounces up, and rips on out of here. That's a chance. The 4 hour looks good. I do see it moving back to the top of the channel. Then we'll go from there. But it's not my favorite setup in the game right now. It's definitely a nice coin to accumulate. And it's had a very nice run up. Yeah, Tara. Bitcoin at 43,830. Just kind of hanging out now. Chopping away here. Getting above it, getting below it. They're really just, I don't know if they're just listening to me and they're seeing that a bunch of people are trading the 200 SMA or that just that many people figured out what I figured out. And it becomes that significant. You know what I mean? So I'm not long or short right now. I'm just waiting for a more confirmation. If anything, a double bottom, high or low for the same move right back. We technically should have moved to the top of the pattern. That's just kind of pattern trading. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top. Halfway through, back here, it's just kind of, it's irregular. We should have got that, but again, nothing about trading is regular, right? Look at this crazy pattern that I've formed. And I kind of do see some kind of shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder behavior here. And again, it's all about the 200 SMA on the 7 minute. Staying back above it. And we're just playing games with it right now. And to me, it's too much games. It's just like whenever I feel them playing with me like that, I'm like, we bearishly retest, we start to fall, possible short. Or I'll even just DCA today and then, look for a better setup. Look for a setup that speaks to me, that's clean, that makes more sense. All right. Your Wyver says appointment at 12:10. Yeah, I do have an appointment at 12:10, but I always have an appointment. Yo, bro, Van, I please get your opinion on Magic Craft. You're just asking my opinion, man. I don't know much about it, so I really can't give you much of an opinion on it. I'm sorry, you know. Wow, UNFI, UOS, NAKA, VIO, short. I mean, it's just too much. It's too much. $86 in chat revenue. We're gonna have to start doing a $10 super chat only. And now I know why they do that they do that at on Mitch Ray, and I'm always like, why did he do that? And now I get why, because he'll just get too many super chats. He won't be able to do them, and then people get mad at you. You know what I mean? UNFI really needed to hold that retest. Did not. Fell to the downside, right? Kind of sloppy. The daily's getting oversold. You pull a fib. You keep a trend line, and you know what you're looking for is some type of like, you want to watch consolidation. You want to set up a projection of consolidation before it happens. If it can consolidate inside the target, and I can be wrong, it could all the way to the downside. Like, I'm not saying every time I projection I nail it. What I am saying is most of the time I'm closer to than most people are, and then from there I'm able to kind of tweak it to be even better, right? So I'd look for this consolidation. Possible next move would be to 21, but it looks like it may take some time. Let's take a look at UOS Ultra on KuCoin. It's an old coin. I used to trade back in the day. Liked it. Had a good team. Panned out here and there, but So they had this nice pennant. They broke out. Possibly retesting. The daily's a bit overbought. 22-hour doesn't look amazing. You kind of double top like Bitcoin did this morning. Two-day looks amazing. Where's that 200 SMA? About to get above the 200. So I would flag this out on the 2-day like this. And once you're about to get that candle to close, but once today in 6 hours, that candle gets above the 200 SMA, I'd be looking for a possible big move for UOS. It's kind of got the slanted Adam and Eve, right, that we've been watching. It's got a gap in the VRVP. Likely can get back up to 35, maybe even to 40 cents, when it's all kind of triggered out. So the 2-day looks nice on it. The smaller time frames don't look too good, but the 2-day looks interesting. Let's take a look at VAIOT, VIOT, on MEXC and KuCoin. And you can just see this thing was going to rip. It was in the Adam and Eve double bottom. That's just what they do. It's just what happens. And it's kind of making that like similar pattern that Bitcoin made, right? For those few days in a row before it eventually broke out. 2-day looks good to me too. I just wait out the bigger time frame. And as long as it holds that trend line, I don't see why VIO won't get to 22 cents. Okay. I'm whipping through these pretty fast, everyone, because I don't have much time. I got a busy day ahead of me every day of my life, if you can only imagine. So I've been watching STORJ just inside of a pennant on like the 4-hour time frame. It broke out nicely, came back inside. As long as the bottom trend line holds, I just act like it never broke out again. But it's been kind of boring, right? And just move this alert. But I got an alert on it. When it hits that, the alert goes off. And then what I love about it is you can hit your alert section, and then you can have all these coins that you have alerts on. And I know you'd like to know. Oh, but you can't see all my alert coins. Anyway. You'll find that out if you join my trading group. You get alert to all the things that I'm looking at, which should blow your mind. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for this to kind of just, sideways more consolidate, and there's a chance it double tops. Bart Simpson's down. It goes through this gap. 4 hours suggested it's getting oversold in the momentum, though, and getting ready for a bounce. I'd like to see it break back above the point of control again. But if I believed in the project, I'd definitely be buying in at 73. STORJ is hot, and when it rips, it likes to rip. The measured move takes us to about 124 for STORJ. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2-3 weeks from there, maybe less, it's at that place, NAKA. I mean, up a 25x really from 6 cents and on. I mean, this thing is just out of control. Finally got a bit of a sell-off. I wanted to do a parabolic run-up. Looked like it was maybe could have, but rising wedges break down 68% of the time. There's a chance we could have got the run-up. We did not. Let's take a look at it on the daily time frame and the 2-day chart. Really starting to reset nicely, but away from the 21-day moving average. So what I look for NAKA is to come back down, hang out with the 21. It's kind of been far away from everything, you know. Now, again, it may not do that. It may go more sideways. Either one looks good to me. No matter what, to me, it has to hang out at the 21-day moving average. You're looking for the 21 to come back into price action. The same thing that I talk about over and over and over again. A Fibonacci level to the 618 and a retracement back to possible resistance for support would be amazing at 152. Be a chance to get in back into NAKA. Once it does that, I do see it making a move back to 276 or even higher if it stays in the more lateral pattern. You're talking 311 somewhere for NAKA, right? So I see sideways and downward price action for NAKA until it finds its way back to the 21 on the bigger time frame. All right. Zen Protocol, a very tiny coin, got smashed. Absolutely smashed. We pulled the fib here. Thought could break out of this cup and handle. Just went sideways. Nobody really into it. Nobody, you know, sideways like that for days. It was like a mining coin. It had a lot of like buzz for it. Now it could create the buzz again and start to pump. Anything could happen. People seemed to love this coin when it was hot like 5 months ago, but now no one really talks about it again. You know, Jenna XRP knew a lot about it. It had like all these chains. Like you could get Matic Zen. You could get, you know, right? I'm pretty sure this is the coin. You could get like, I don't know. There was a Zen for everything. Phantom Zen. It was like FXEN. It was like MXEN. It was just like, anyway. Double bottomed here. I look for it to get above the 200 SMA and then it can rip. Look at the 22. Where's the 200 SMA? It just got above it. Look for it to go sideways, stay above the 200, and it's likely going to pump up to 13. The whole market's looking pretty bullish to me. And if it hasn't gotten a pop and it's above a 200 SMA on a smaller time frame, I could see it making 163% gain, you know, from the bottoms here. Is it my trade? I'm probably going to stay away from that. I own some of it and got hammered on it. I put like a G in it at a time where it's like it's down like almost 90%, right? Kadena finally broke out of this channel, the same channel that Bitcoin was kind of in just the other day. Broke to the upside above the 200 SMA, got the golden cross. Look for your daily to get a golden cross. You want to front run that. That's when things really start to get busy for Kadena. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. If you believe in this project, yes. My whole thing is most of the market is up significantly. Why is this coin just barely hanging on? I mean, it went from 40 to 70. I guess it's all right. It is above the 200 SMA. That's usually where things start to rocket and get crazy. You're getting a golden cross too as well. So that would bring me to like the 1 hour. Look for a flag. I know that the bigger time frames are in your favor for this flag to possibly break out. Possibly a nice swing trade just up to about 91 cents on the 1 hour time frame. But again, is it my trade? No. I think there's better out there right now at the present moment in time. And last but not least, but space. Which is Microvision, I believe. Traded space, went up 21%, got sold back off, kind of got a head and shoulder pattern slanted. Look, shoulder head, right? Make the neckline there. You got your trend line. I'd look for it to come back down. I'd pull the Fibonacci from this bigger move up. And I'd be looking at here at the 618 to retrace to 1785. Before I even thought about it again. But again, once it does that, I could see a huge move coming for space. Back all the way up to about $46. So, but yeah, I'd be looking at that sweet spot. Previous resistance becomes support. 618 fib, $18, $19 for space Microvision. It may not. It may go more. It may pump like this and go sideways. I'm not a magician. If it does that, then I know the trade will be here on the bottom of the trend lines, though. I don't know what price action does, but I know how to be versatile to handle no matter what it does and still make gains. See, that's the key. All right. That's the key. Bitcoin got a nice big breakout to the upside, ripping back above the 200 SMA and then ripped. My trade would be in the money now, but they were playing games with it. I like it though. I expected it to come to the top of the channel, in my humble opinion. But I like this consolidation. This tells me that I can wait it out, and later on in the afternoon, if we're doing something like this, or if we break out and retest, I'm going to be looking to long. And so, you know, back to Bitcoin for the moment before I get on out of here. We're watching the 7 minute still for most of the day. I want to see this continue to go sideways. I like that we got back above the 200 SMA. If the daily 4-hour candle can't close above 44,300, expect more downside. That's going to be an issue for us. We're going to have to flip that to remain bullish. Don't be 100% bullish. Don't be 100% bearish. Be open-minded to the trade and the opportunity that could present itself. Bit of a double bottom with a higher low. Funny, at the end of the day, look what it was, right? You guys can see it, right? Sammy, cup and handle, right? And that's, look how the handle just always just gives you this rippage to the upside. I may have seen it if I wasn't going over 100 altcoins. I'm just joking around. But I love each and every one of you. May God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Remember that you are the opportunity. If you believe you're the opportunity, then you are. Go after it. Go get it. Make it happen. Become the job that you look for. You are the opportunity. Do not look for opportunity. Do not wait for that perfect time. You are the perfect time. Make it happen. God bless each and every one of you. Nobody's going to be there to pick you up but yourself. Remember that. I'm going to be there for you every single day. I can do the best I can. But God helps those who helps themselves. Stay blessed, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for everything. What an amazing live stream. 952 people, 650 likes as I walk away. $86 in chat revenue. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for another beautiful live stream. I pray to God and thank God for this. And may God give me the strength and the will and the power and the health to be back tomorrow at the same time, 10 a.m., to rip up the charts. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a blast. And I hope you were empowered to take your life by storm.